Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to our all-electric home here in Perth, Western Australia. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land which this house is built. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders, both past, present and emerging. So, welcome. Let's go. So one of the first sustainable features or areas of sustainability this house has is its water usage. So over here we have a 9,000 litre water tank we had installed, and this tank is plumbed into the house. It flushes the guest toilet, and it also, we use it for washing our clothes. So it captures the rainwater off this part of the house and it flows through. There is the tank, colour coordinated with all of the rest of the house. And this is the setup we have. So there's the pump that does all the work. At the moment it's empty because it's that end of summer, so it doesn't last all of summer, but it lasts about 2 months into summer before it runs out. And then we just use mains. So that's the system that actually draws it out. That's the pump. And over here is the first flush rainwater component. So in here, captures it from the roof. There's a little ball under there that floats up, blocks that off, and then it flows through into the rainwater tank that fills her up. So one thing I've also done, there's a little nozzle out here that lets the water out slowly. I've simply blocked that off, and I use this to irrigate the pot plants around the house. Okay, Nate. This is Nathan Steele. He is from Steelhouse Architects. He is the architect and designer of this beautiful home. So I thought to invite Nathan around so I could ask him some questions around the solar passive design of the house and get some of his feedback and some of the reasons why it's designed as it is. So Nathan, tell us firstly, why are we shaped the way we are?
Yeah, so I think when I approach the design, one of the most critical aspects of it is where you put the house on the site and how you arrange it on the site. We call it orientation. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of the most effective ways and the most cost-effective ways to get a really effective solar passive design. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you get this wrong or right, it still costs the same.
Yep.
So in this instance, Ben selected a site which is what we call an east-west orientation, so north is facing this way. Mm-hmm. And so what our approach was is that you site the building to the southern side of the house and elongate the plan east-west. Okay, so that way we maximise the amount of north-facing light, facade and glazing, and that way we could invite winter sun into it, so it allows the house to harmonise with the natural movement of the sun, so to speak. The sun is higher in summer, it's lower in winter. So you're able to shade your windows, and those windows also open out onto your living areas. It's not just a matter of facing your glazing north to get a solar passive design. You've got to shade those windows correctly, because if you don't, you'll get way too much solar gain. So yeah, it's a common mistake is that you put the windows to the north, immediately you've got a solar passive house. It's not like that at all. You've got to provide shading.
Okay, Nath, let's talk about energy usage and energy consumption. This is an all-electric home.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the features that we have put in place to help us through blackouts.
Yes.
The solar panels on the roof, the appliances we've put in, and just what we've discovered over the last 2 years with running an all-electric home, which has been great.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a pretty common feature to put solar panels into houses now, and Ben was very instrumental in this. He was very interested in doing this. He already had electric vehicles and a bike, so he drove that quite significantly in the appliances, and he did a lot of research about those elements. And for me, my role was really about how do we integrate those elements into the design such that they don't clash.
Yes, so we oversized the solar panel. It's a 10 kilowatts of panels with an 8 kilowatt inverter. So in WA, that's too big to get in feed-in tariffs. So we've concentrated on the behind the meter consumption and the savings we get from that. So we have some statistics from the last 2 years of how much we've produced and consumed. So in 2023, we consumed 6.94 megawatt hours of electricity, but we produced 7.4. So the solar panels is producing more than we actually
That's
consume.
net positive.
Correct. But one of the questions I get asked of an all-electric home and your usage is, what do you do in a blackout? So we don't actually have a home battery yet.
Yes.
So like the rest of the street, we just we're out. The hot water, we had hot water, we were out for about 3 days. Because I've got a heat pump for our hot water system on the other side of the house, it's got a 315 litre tank, which is quite big. Now that tank is heavily insulated, and we're able to have 4 showers. There's 4 of us in the house, so 2 teenagers. We had showers for those 2.5 days,
Wow.
and they were still hot. So it only started to drop off at the last day. That 3rd day, that's where we started to get a lukewarm shower far away.
Do you, obviously your previous house didn't have anywhere near as many features as this one did. How are you able to make a good comparison about how that house performed, how you did now, how much cheaper that is to live?
Well, our old house built, it's in Palmyra. It was terrible. It was really cold in winter. We were always rugging up. So we always had a heater on.
Right. So from a basic comfort level, it didn't perform very well. And then,
Correct. Yeah.
so you had discomfort, and what about the costs of running that house?
Well, we had some solar panels there, but they were incorrectly orientated, so we didn't get a lot of cost savings from those.
Okay.
We also had a gas hot water system, so a marine gas hot water system, so that was added to the costs. But yeah, the cost comparison for this house has been lowered. Hey, we don't have a gas bill. We haven't had a gas bill in the last 2 years. And our energy consumption is about $250 a quarter. So it's very manageable and comparable to other households that aren't all electric. So if you are designing a house or doing a house sustainably, do it from the start so it can be integrated in and look good at the end of the day as well.